Hello and welcome back to the third part of our series creating a Discord chatbot with Python using Hikari. In today's episode, we'll be focusing on creating ban events. So let's not waste any time and dive right into it. So as you can see, ban event are divided into two further subclasses, that is a ban create event and a ban delete event. So a ban create event gives us the properties that are guild ID, shard, user, and user ID, while a ban delete event only gives us the properties that are guild ID, shard, and user. So what are these? Let's understand. A, a ban event as a whole does not distinguish whether a ban has been created or a ban has been revoked. So we further use a ban create event or a ban delete event. So let's write them down. Dot listen, and in the parentheses we'll write Hikari dot ban create event. So now this is a decorator for an event when a ban is created, when a user is banned. So we'll further write our function in it, async def ban underscore create, and we'll give a parameter that is event. Okay, so I already created a function named ban create, so I'll just quickly change it to ban event, and we'll go back to creating our ban create event. So all right, so what are the properties that we get from ban create event? We'll obviously get the guild ID. So now guild ID is the guild in which the particular user has been banned. So we'll write event dot guild underscore ID. Okay, now that's not good. We write it all small. Okay, the next one is the shard. Event dot shard, and we obviously get the user who has been banned, and we get user ID for the user that has been banned. That will be event dot user underscore ID. So let's understand. First of all, we get the guild ID. So what is the guild ID? Guild ID is particularly the unique ID of a particular server that's created on Discord. So when we are getting a log information that a particular user has been banned, if we are creating a log, we need to keep in mind from what server the user has been banned. So we'll write guild ID. Similar to a guild ID, there is a shard ID. So now what is a shard ID? See, when our bot is running in n number of servers, let's say 1,000 servers, let's say our bot is running in 1,000 servers. So what will happen is our bot will not have just one instance, it will have multiple instances. And those instances are inside a shard. So let's say 100 servers, the bot is running in 100 servers under one shard. So we can also take a shard ID, that which instance of the bot has recorded a particular user getting banned. All right. So the next thing that we can retrieve from this event is the user. That will be the username. And the last thing that we can retrieve from this particular ban create event, it would be the user ID, which is again unique to a user that cannot be copied. Great. So now we'll create the next event that will be, we'll write the decorator for it, @bot dot, okay, my bad, bot dot listen Hikari dot ban delete event. So this event is a ban delete event, or we should say an unban event. So when a user gets unbanned, this particular event is triggered, right? We'll create a function for it, async unban. Let's name it unban, and then we'll pass a parameter that is event once again. And now this particular event gives us very limited amount of uh, properties. So it will give us a guild ID would be event.guild ID. It would also give us the shard again. So that would be shard is event.shard. And it would give us the user that it affects. Cool. So now we have created our events. Now let's also write a function for uh, a print statement that happens whenever this particular event is triggered. So for a ban event, let's say, so also the ban events also gives us the properties like like the guild ID, the shard, and the user. So let's make use of that. Let's write user equals event dot user, and now let's create a print statement. Let's say okay, my bad. That would be print. Let's create a f string here, and let's say there is an update to let's say users ban status. So whenever there's an update, this particular event will fire irrespective of whether the user is being banned or if the user is being unbanned. Let's create a print statement for a ban create event when a user is banned. So we'll once again create an f string for printing. So we'll write um let's say user is banned from guild ID. That's right, guild ID. Um, okay, let's make a change. User having user underscore ID is banned from guild in shard. All right. So we have created that. Let's head on over to the last event, that is a unban event. So let's create a print statement for that. We'll once again use an f string. So we'll write user has been unbanned from say guild. Okay, that's guild ID. I'm done with that. Shard, create a hash there and curly braces, and I'll write shard. That's it. So now what this particular code should do is whenever a user is banned, we'll get a statement that says there is an update to that particular user's ban status, and if the user is being banned, then we'll get that the user having a user ID having this particular user ID is banned from guild with this guild ID in shard, that is the shard ID. And if the user is unbanned, we'll get the user has been unbanned from guild with the guild ID in shard, the given shard. So let's quickly run this piece of code. Okay, so there are no errors, the code is running. Now let's head on over to our Discord. Cool. So I'll quickly go ahead and add my test user to the server. Alright, so test user has joined this particular server. Now let's quickly go ahead and ban the test user. So I'll go and ban for no reason. Let's see what has happened. So as you can see, we got an update for the particular event. When we banned our test user, we got an output, we got a print statement that our event ran, that told us that the test user having this user ID has been banned from this guild. Now let's see what happens if I unban this test user. So I'll quickly go to server settings. Where are they? That's here. And then I'll go to ban. And I'll go ahead and revoke ban. Let's see what changes there. Okay, so we get test user has been unbanned from guild in shard. Great. So now we know how to create ban events and how they work. So guys, that's it for this video. Let's meet in the next one where we'll be talking about guild events.